Oh, shit. I forgot my microphone was on. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Let me turn down the music a little, because this one's actually quite loud. I forgot that you guys just heard me rustling around that whole time. Okay, so actually, the reason why I was sort of goofing about, is because I remembered that I should probably actually tell people that I'm streaming. So let me do that real quick. You know what, though? I'm super not sure I like this music. Hello, Anonymous. What's up? I'm really not sure if I like this music. What do you think about it? It's usually a lot jauntier than I draw with, usually. I think it's fine. Okay. Fair enough. It is just a great deal jauntier than what I normally listen to when I'm drawing. Also, let me move the chat up a little further. Could lower it a bit. Okay, done. There we go. There you are. Alright, let's see. So, today, as I was saying earlier, is that I am concentrating on like actually drawing the human figure instead of like just the shapes of the human figure. One thing I've noticed as I've been drawing more and more, it's that sometimes when I draw, limbs aren't shaped the way they should be. Like they're sometimes a little too long, or the elbow to forearm ratio is kind of off. And that's because, being a self-taught artist, I don't actually sit down and study a lot of this stuff. And I probably should, since this is becoming something that I am using in my content. Originally, it wasn't supposed to be. Originally, drawing was kind of just for me. But then current events happened. And I'm like, well, it's my God-given right to be as strange as possible. And as certain things get more draconian, you kind of need to strike out and do things on your own. So yeah, we're looking at proportions today. So we're going to do some pose tracing, because I have a ton of art references that I use. We're going to go to portraits. And we're looking at this guy. I was looking through a bunch of pictures, and I would have to say I would have to say that sorry, I keep losing my train of thought. Sorry, my brain is... I'm in the same boat. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. I always draw heads too big. It's arms and heads. And I have been really struggling with faces. So, the thing is that, particularly my favorite OC, Connie, who is a large dude shaped like a rugby player, is actually one of my greatest challenges. So I'm going to keep using the build-up brush. So the basic shape for him would be that, right? I don't know why I started drawing his boobs first. And so his chest is up here. means... Okay. So as far as forearms go, that's a little bit below the chest right here. And then this guy's arms end here. Some people have shorter arms, some people have longer arms. I remember I did some pose tracing for like the bear. I was doing I was like trying to copy scenes from the bear. And you can see some of it in some Tales of series art that I did. But one thing I've realized is that Jeremy Allen White's arms are like weirdly long. So this guy... Oh, that's what's called... Well, one, that's another problem I'm having. I'm using the wrong pen. Okay, so the thing about drawing heavier set people is that their necks are thicker. So his arms end around here, here. Because in Constellation, I've wanted to draw men more. And see, the thing is, when I was younger, I was so much better at drawing girls, but then I realized, like, a lot of the girls I drew were basically, like... were heavily idealized. So, like, they were, like, fan service, almost. Now, here is where the waist ends. Connie is a bit more heavyset than this guy. Connie's a big dude now. Okay, so if that's one thing, when this ends here, this ends there, and then the arms come down in front. So yeah, we're actually studying today. And then I'll probably try and draw the same one without... I don't think it's a bad place to... Yeah! But now, like, the girls I draw are definitely the girls... When I learned how to draw girls and women, and just, like, female-presenting bodies in general, they were basically... they were basically... Ichi girls. And, like... Yeah, they had, like, huge, ridiculous boobs, giant hips, and that's because of the person I learned from, which was a book from a guy who I know now once was famous for drawing porn. I know that now, but I wish that was something the librarian had told me when I grabbed that book. That's the thing about... Because that's how thighs work. Like that. Yeah, that's definitely something I wish that that's definitely something I wish the librarian had told me. Because when I looked him up on Google, I was like, oh, that's why all the women are naked. Aw, thank you. Yeah, Connie actually used to be quite short. Actually, he was originally based off of Bruce Lee. But then I looked back at a lot of my, original characters, and a lot of them are based off of Bruce Lee because of how much I love martial arts movies. And I was like, I need to base him off of someone else. He's actually inspired mostly by a very, a gold medalist discus thrower, whose name that I do not remember, unfortunately. Yeah, thank you. He's very different from his brother, who is quite skinny. Now, one thing I will say here is that this man's head is enormous. Let's see how this works. And he's part of the Wasps, it looks like. I don't recognize that rugby team. Oh, I think, is this Russia? It's supposed to be Russia? I don't know, I can't tell. I do not know this man. Okay. So let me look at something real quick. Oh, excuse me. All right. Yeah, drawing any characters that are, like, at all shirtless is not my forte. So, let's see. Lanky dudes are nice, but thicker guys save lives. I love that. Okay, I need to straighten out this man's legs, because he turns into a mermaid past the picture. His leg is just going straight back, and his is going straight forward. Yeah, you can definitely tell where the photo ends. I'm not gonna push myself, don't worry about it. So, let's see. There's a part. Who am I? I was in the middle of drawing Lady from Devil May Cry anime and Netflix. Oh, I love Lady. I love Lady, though. Although, one thing in Devil May Cry 5 that really bothered me was Nico's southern accent. I'll do a full-page drawing of him. Okay, so Dante was absolutely, like, my first... Well, I wouldn't say my first video game crush. Link was my first video game crush. But Dante was definitely up there. I was obsessed with him my senior year of high school. Let's see... Oh, I know would be a good way to study some... here we go, for men. I was like, what would be a good way to understand bodies? Underwear models. Oh yeah, absolutely. I was absolutely obsessed with Dante. So, as a matter of fact, so when I was... So... My first Devil May Cry game I played in middle school, and I believe it was the very first one. My mother did not like the title of the game. We were kind of a religious family, so my mother was not a huge fan of the phrase Devil May Cry. And she was like, no, you can't get this game. So one day, I saved some money, and I had a sleepover with a friend, and we went to Blockbuster. And not Blockbuster. It was like a video Bob. But either way, there was an option to either rent the game or buy the game, and I bought the game because the games weren't really that expensive back then. But I felt so guilty for essentially lying to my mom that I just gave it to my friend. Oh, I meant really as in you didn't like Nico's accent. No. It's not a New Orleans accent. She sounds like she's from Tennessee. It's not a New Orleans accent. Okay. Well. Is this the happy birthday song? Yes, it is. But, like, the thing is because I'm from the South, I can kind of delineate the difference between certain accents. So if you tell me... So, like, for instance, in True Blood, you can really tell that the guy who plays Bill is not comfortable with the Southern accent at all, especially in the beginning of the show. She's cute, but yeah, it's just her. So, while I do speak a certain way when I'm on stream, but when I'm around, like, family and stuff, my accent does tend to slip, and my accent is very, very country. Both me and my husband kind of share that in common. Because it's not until, like, we get around family or we get really upset that it's very obvious. No, those nipples are not in the right place. Hopefully, YouTube won't ban me for this. Because there's a shirtless man on there. There's a shirtless man on their channel. Maybe I won't put him in his underwear. Maybe I'll just give him pants before YouTube sends me to the dungeon. But yeah, I have quite the country accent. As a matter of fact, my whole family does, and it can be, as a matter of fact, depending on who's listening, sometimes they can't understand what certain family members have. YouTube just needs to chill. Yeah, you would think. Actually, this is not low enough. I mean, not low enough, wide enough. Because he's a big dude, so it would be like this instead. Sweetheart, don't even worry about it. Like, life has been weird for everybody right now, especially if you're in the United States. It's been bonkers. This month alone, a lot of shit has happened. Like, at the beginning of last month, I got COVID, then I had to have oral surgery, a family member passed away, my sister-in-law got married, just so much happened. So I totally get life be lifing. Life be lifing. This music is growing on me. I don't know why I gave him sleeves. I said I was going to make him shirtless. Yeah, we're doing well now. As a matter of fact, it was my aunt that passed away, and everyone seems to be doing okay after that very sudden. Because you know, even though she was kind of up there in age, it did take us by surprise. Let's hope I can do enough for the future. Yeah, we're all kind of feeling that way these days. I kind of disagree with the assertion that this is the worst it's ever been, but it's still not great. The circumstances still aren't awesome with everything that's been going on. How many versions of Happy Birthday are these people going to play? But one of the things I think people are really learning with everything that's been going on is how important community is. I see people who are typically like very solitary and very individualistic reaching out to each other and like checking up on each other, which I think is really cool. That is not accurate. Let me look back at this reference picture. Okay. Oh wait, that muscle's not even there. Oh shit, okay. I think I understand now. Also, there is something. There we go. Okay, so when someone, it's that, like that. Okay, interesting. He has like a little bit of an elbow. I wasn't paying attention, I guess. I wonder, as like a pianist that plays in like restaurants and stuff, I'm meeting a lot of new people. They're very nice and very open. And yeah. Sometimes when things are bad, you kind of have to circle the wagons and focus on yourself and the people around you. So we've made a point to make sure we know our friends are okay and reaching out to them more and more. And honestly, just, you know, because sometimes you can lose track of that, especially with the way the world is right now. Because I won't lie, the prices do scare me. Okay. I won't lie, this is a good-looking man so far. Okay, so I am not great with collarbones. I know I keep saying I'm not great with X and not great with Y, but Well, thank you, Anonymous. That's very sweet. Okay, so... yeah, I would say the collarbones are pretty much correct on this one. Although, I will say, his neck ends, like, right here, so maybe I drew the shoulders a bit too high. Because he is... oh, you know what? I missed something. There's a subtle turn in his body here. I might have spoken too soon. Because if there is kind of a subtle turn in his body, then I drew the chest a bit incorrectly. Oh, yeah, Metal Gear Strive. That's a good idea. As a matter of fact, one of my most popular D&D one of my most common D&D characters that I default to is based off of Happy Chaos. I don't know if you've noticed, but I kind of have a type. Quirky trickster types that are... that sometimes laugh about serious things. Yeah, that's definitely more accurate. Because he's walking one way and looking another, and yeah, that's a bit more... that's a bit better. Yeah, I have tried to remove the mid-roll ads. It is now not something that I can do. I have put them on low as much as I can. So, I'm sorry about that. And unlike Twitch, they don't warn you when they're coming. I am having a bit of trouble here. Maybe his nipples should be a little farther over. Oh, you know who I also could have drawn? I could have drawn Joe from Skate the Infinity. Sorry, I thought of the nipples as eyes for a second, and my brain sort of short circuit. Yeah, I like Joe. I kind of think he gets lost in being the shuffle of being Cherry's bestie. And I think that Cherry suffers from quite a bit of mischaracterization himself. A lot of people, I think because of the beach episode, kind of consider him like the team mom, when that man does not have a nurturing bone in his body. Oh, wait, wrong pen. I like my build-up pencil. And Cherry great together. Yeah, I never actually saw the OVA, actually. I need to. I haven't been watching anything, really. You know, with everything going on, really my go-to for, like, relaxing has just been playing Overwatch until I go blind. walk up. Big and tall. Apparently it is supposed to be getting a, it is supposed to be getting a second. Here we go. This is much more accurate. Yeah, I'm more of a video game player, although I say that, but I haven't really been playing any video games either. I never even finished Metaphor. I'll just say he's wearing sweatpants. Although I have been meaning to play the Tales of Graces remake. Because I do love me some... Okay, so there's a muscle here, and like that. I understand now. Star Kid's releasing a new musical. Huh. I did like, well, no, here's the thing. Sometimes when I really enjoy a game, I honestly just don't finish it. Because I'm like, if I finish it, it'll be over. And I really enjoyed it. Like, I will say, as far as male characters go, as much as I love Ryuji, Yusuke, and Yosuke, and Junpei and Akihiko, Stroll and Basilio are some of the best male Atlas characters in a long time. Because I won't lie, I freaking love Basilio, man. Basilio, honestly, one of my favorite video game characters of all time. Like, honestly, he's right up there with he's right up there with like a Dimitri for me. Maybe not Link levels, but I adore him. And I love Stroll, and to be honest, I really adore Heisme. I honestly, I love all the characters. The only character I would say that I don't necessarily like in Metaphor and to be honest, I do love her, but Rella. I don't like how they did Rella. When you got to, I'm just gonna say, her part in the story, it was very obvious that there was supposed to be a dungeon and more to the story there, and that the content was removed, probably because of time or release date. But with Rella, you could really tell that there was substantial cut content with her. And it made me really sad, because I feel like Atlas never does female villains very well. Like, even when they had Sai Nijima in Persona 5, they still didn't really give her a lot of agency. She spent a lot of the game getting bullied. But I feel like they could have done... I feel like they could have done better by Rella. But other than that, I think she's lovely. I think they just could have done better by her by giving her a bit more agency. Justice for Sainichima, yeah, really. This isn't bad so far. Oh yeah, yeah. Rella's design was cool, and she has a lot of potential, as you know. There is one plot convention of Atlas games that I don't really like, and that is, we have this huge evil plan that we want to succeed at. Let's choose an emotionally unstable teenager to do it for us, and then be shocked when it fails. That is one of my least favorite plot conventions of an Atlas game, and I get it. It's the shonen thing. I get it, but it's still like, you could have, if you could have succeeded if you let a grown-ass man do this job, or a grown-ass woman do this job. But I get it, they want to appeal to their audience. But Metaphor definitely has one of the best male casts. Yeah. Akechi. Yeah. I have beef with Akechi. The thing is, Akechi never appealed to me. No matter how long I played that game, Akechi never appealed to me. I understood his part in the story, I got him, never appealed to me. Now, to me, he's not as, well, I wouldn't even say annoying, as rage-inducing as Maruki. Maruki, like, awakened some ancient rage in me. I had issues with Maruki. But unfortunately, I can't really talk about why, because that's not my story to tell. I can't really say why, because it's someone else's story, not mine. I understand why people like him. Don't get me wrong. My say is not final on that. But yeah, my beef with Maruki is definitely, personal. Not exactly has to do with anything in the story, it's just, it's like a personal thing. Okay. I think this is looking fine. No, it just looks weird. Tried to shade that in, but I think that just looks funny. Yeah, it was his last role, wasn't it? That was Billy Kametz, if I recall correctly. That was really his last major role before he got seriously ill. Oh wait, I'm drawing his eyes wrong. Thank you. No, the voice actor for Akechi. Oh, Robbie Daymond. Well, Robbie Daymond is one of the most prolific, English voice actors. He's been at it for years. Almost as long as Bryce Papenbrook. His eyes are very uneven. Oh! Hello, just here for the fun of it. What's up? I'm trying to... Robbie versus Virgil in the DMC anime. Really? It's actually really good. Okay. I mean, I have no doubt that he did that he does well. It's just, it's surprising. Oh, yeah, that's about the same. Yesterday. Yeah, thank you. Today it's just Connie, not Maria as well. One day I will draw Nathan not getting bullied. Today is not that day. We have Connie looking kind of bougie. I actually don't much mind this head shape I have going on for him. Normally I'm very particular about it. let's have a look back at our mans here. Okay, so I drew the ear at a little, not as far over as I should have. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and talk about your original characters. I love hearing about stuff like that. Here for the fun of it, was telling me about their mushroom OC. Marshy mushroom, I believe? Alright, let me draw this man's hair. The only thing that frustrates me a little bit with Connie is that I wish I hadn't made his hair so anime. But hair like this was popular when he was growing up. Which, if Connie was alive today, he'd be 76 years old. And according to my timeline, Connie would die in 2031 at the age of, I want to say, 81. Okay, this is like the 8th time we have heard the same happy birthday song. I'm changing these songs. I'm sorry, but I cannot do it. Oh, she got isekai'd by Ice Cream Truck Coon? Okay. Okay, so his hairline would be here. Ah, Jesus. Okay. Hang on, I can do this. Like that. So that man's hairline is very low. Mein Gott. Connie has a slightly bigger forehead, unlike his sister's 5 head. That's why she has bangs, because she has a large forehead. Canonically. Oh, that kind of reminds me of, that also reminds me of, like, I do love me a sassy Grim Reaper character. Because there is another way I can do Connie's hair. It's how a lot of men had their hair done in the 70s. Just kind of like out. That's good TV that's just thrown away, especially now, man. Like, at least when Pushing Daisies came around, there was like a compelling reason. With all the stuff that was going on with the writer's strike, a lot of TV shows changed after that. Nope. But, like, these days, it feels like shows kind of just get canceled for fun. And it's really frustrating. Like, what was that show? Um, the one about, it's like a YA book. The one based off of, like, The Six of Crows. I don't remember what it was called. Oh, Christmas. I don't remember what that show is called. Book of Shadows? Ugh, whatever. But yeah, that show was canceled quite literally for no reason. No, the show wasn't called Shadow and Bone! Thank you! Thank you! I don't know how I feel about that hair for Connie. I really don't. Ah, I didn't mean to erase the whole face. Dang it! Now I have to press undo so many times. Ah, yep, they all look the same. Dang it. Because the whole thing about Connie's story is that his parents are actually mixed. So his father was black, his mother's Filipino. And when they never got legally married per se, because back when they got together it was actually illegal. So, up until... Honestly, I'm sure there are some people who still remember this, but marriages like mine and my husband were just straight up illegal. And Connie's parents were one of those people. And although they loved each other very much, they were never able to get formally married until his little brother was born. So Connie is actually half Filipino, even though that's not what it says in his birth certificate. let's see. Uh-oh, Christmas. Alright, let's see. Can I ask? Sometimes. I don't often make playlists like that. He says a lot with one look, yeah. Otherwise, he's a man of few words. He is definitely much quieter compared to his other siblings. Oh, I forgot a very important part of his facial features, actually. It's the scar. I should probably look at some studies for scar tissue, too. I don't plan on streaming for too long today, because today is a Friday, and we have yard work to do tomorrow, and honestly, we didn't get much sleep yesterday. We were discussing things that we should do, and, because, you know, our wedding's coming up. My Tinkerbell reboot, I made a playlist. Aw, cute! I missed the Tinkerbell boat. I was a little bit older. Yeah, actually, I recently picked my wedding dress. It was a very surreal moment, honestly. Because it's not something I ever thought I would do, but I was happy to do it. Alright, canvas. Oh. Sorry, small hiccup in the internet there. I don't know if you guys saw that. Come on. I think the eyes are fine. No, I haven't heard of that game. Does not sound familiar. Oh, yes. Alright. Yeah, we'll put him in some boxer briefs. That's weird looking. Okay, hang on, no, I think hang on. I have to go back and look at this man's tight-ass shorts. Okay, yeah, that's very different. Dating is where like dating the brave little toaster. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Although, that is a movie that terrified me as a child. The Brave Little Toaster is a genuinely terrifying movie. Every generation has a children's movie that actually is terrifying. You know, the younger generation has Coraline. This generation has Inside Out. But this Brave Little Toaster was a terrifying movie for me as a child. They're anthropomorphic. I assume so. Let me see here. What else do I need to do? Oh, body hair, I guess. Kind of usually keeps himself clean shaven, but not that clean shaven. Okay, I hate clowns. I hate clowns. I hate clowns so much. Listen, it's not that I'm afraid of clowns, okay? I am not afraid of clowns. I just do not like them. I have not told this story... I've told this story a couple of times on stream on various channels. But when I was in college, okay, I was known to... let's just say under the influence. When I had to go to a Commedia dell'arte workshop with the theater program. And I was not feeling well. And I was definitely compromised physically. And the Commedia dell'arte woman was an Italian woman who was tiny and painted in this like horrifying white face paint, and we were doing these wild gestures, and I'm already not feeling well. Like, I'm already feeling a little sick. And she gets in my face and she goes, "Be funnier! Be funnier! Be funnier!" And she is in my face. I actually ended up crying because of how much she was in my face. And I remember I think I had a panic attack later about it. Because my acting teacher actually was like, "You know, we can file a report so she doesn't come back here as a teacher. You know that, right?" Like, I'm here for you. We cannot invite this woman back. And yeah, I don't think they ever invited her back because everyone hated that workshop. But yeah, ever since then I have hated clowns because it reminds me of that woman and her horrifying face paint just in my face screaming at me to be funnier. But yeah, that's my beef with clowns. So, I'm not afraid of clowns. I just have beef. I have beef. Oh, whoops. I drew that on the wrong layer. Because if he's in his underwear, then we're gonna have to make sure he's in his underwear. Yeah, I remember taking these... so when I was in college, I was majoring in theater. And then I majored in English. I did not know what I wanted to be when I was in school. Young kid in Disneyland. My family went to this restaurant. And I immediately started crying. Oh no. Yeah, costume characters can be overwhelming for children. Because when a child is confronted with something that they normally see much smaller on television, that can actually be terrifying. Like, that's why kids start crying when they see Santa. That's why kids start crying when they see the Easter Bunny. Because it's a little scary. They're used to seeing smaller versions on television. And it turns out, in real life, they're enormous. Alright, there we go. Sorry, the cleanse sounds horrible. A lot of it was because I was under the influence of other things. So, stuff that I cannot say on... It's something that I cannot say on YouTube. But, I was not sober. Yeah, it's just... Yeah, but they never invited her back. As a matter of fact, the theater chair sent an email to all the students apologizing. I forgot that he has black hair, so let me just fill that in. Alright. Aw, thank you, Anonymous. That's very sweet of you. Yeah, I was actually talking about that the other day, that, you know, despite everything that's happened this month, we're still doing okay. Yeah. That's very sweet of you to say. Yeah, college. I have a feel if honestly, if I hadn't felt pressured to go to a 4-year school, I would have gone to culinary school pretty much immediately. But my teachers, my parents just wanted me to have some direction, but my teachers really pressured me to go to college because of how much I improved scholastically in my senior year. I mean, in my junior year. That's not bad. His hair makes his head look really big. But that's really not bad. I feel like there's more to what I should be drawing. Maybe it's because he has no hair. I just don't want to draw individual body hair. That seems like a pain. Maybe if I use a spray brush? Nope. That looks awful. Yeah, he would have hair right here. Aww. Kitty sounds cute. Man. I need to find another pin for this because... Oops, nope. Wrong size. Because I don't like how that looks. I guess I could just... I think I could do that. So, the thing about... I think the thing about Connie... is that he definitely puts a lot more care into his appearance than people think he does. Like, he is, you know... He's a big dude that is supposed to kind of be like their community's sort of ideal guy. He's quiet, does what he needs to do, gets in, gets out, and doesn't really argue with his boss. His boss is his sister. But I don't know how I'm gonna do the body hair because it looks very sloppy. Maybe if I hit it with the kneaded eraser. Maybe... Oh, that was a little bit... I could hit it with the speckle brush. The speckle brush might make that easy. Yeah, let's try that. Because he's got to have body hair. He only keeps his face shaven. I do love me some Wind Waker. But the title song of Wind Waker will always bring, like, a smile to my face. I'll come back to this. And this is actually the inside of his arm, so you don't need to see that much. Yeah, well, the thing is actually one of Connie's biggest problems is that Maria and Nate don't get along. Nate definitely thinks he should be in charge over Maria. Because in his mind, Connie's not smart enough to do it. Maria's a woman. So I should not have to listen to Maria. I should be in charge. And this gets him in trouble, like, a lot. As a matter of fact, he and Connie actually stopped talking for a little bit because they get into a huge fight over who should be in charge. Maybe I should do some scar tissue studies too. Because Connie's got some scars. Some jagged ones, especially. I still don't know how I feel about the body hair. I think I might just have to draw it. Nathan shouldn't be making a mess of things. Yeah, you would think. But Nathan's the baby of the family. And he feels kind of ostracized by the twins. Being the baby of the family, Nathan does feel kind of ostracized by the twins. That's too big. I don't know. I'll just keep it the way it was. Yeah, and that's the thing, is that Nathan is the baby of the family, and he's actually quite sheltered compared to the other two. Because in their mom's mind, you know, in their mom's mind, he's the youngest. He doesn't really remember when their father passed away, so he kind of needs to be taken care of a little bit. And that ends up being kind of a mistake on her part. Because then he ends up feeling kind of coddled and babied, and he feels like he doesn't really get to do anything, and that causes him to lash out, even as an adult. I'm actually going to move the scar a bit lower. Oh, whoops. Yeah. But she is mighty. Oh, yeah. Maria is a force to be reckoned with. You don't mess around with Maria. Maria is a force to be reckoned with. Especially when she's pregnant. Because she ends up having 3 kids. With her husband, Will. Oh, well, you have a great day, Anonymous. We always have such nice conversations when you're here. It's very nice. And don't apologize. Go do life. Yeah, I'll be here, I'll be here Monday, and we probably won't be drawing. We'll probably be doing some crochet. Or doing some sewing. But yeah, this is Connie, even though his body hair stresses me out. Christmas. And I don't want to not give him body hair. Oh, I accidentally erased a scar. Kong is actually not covered in too many scars, despite how much he fights, because he's just that good. Last time, the only 2 times he's lost a fight is when he was shot or stabbed. And that's the stab wound, and that's the gunshot wound. And even then, when he got shot, he didn't really lose that fight. I'm actually going to have this small piece of cheese that I got for myself earlier. If I can undo this wrapper. I have this piece of like snacking cheese. And it just says contains milk. And I know they do that to avoid liability. But sometimes the way food laws are done, the thing is, that's as dark as that body hair goes. Or that brush goes. That's the trouble I'm having. You know what? I think I'm gonna cheat. Let's go to Clip Studio. I'm gonna see if there's a body hair brush on Clip Studio. A free body hair brush. Let's see. Or Clip Studio could be doing whatever it's doing right now. That was weird. It froze. Okay, now it's just not popping up. Hang on. Like I have to slam jam on this thing to make sure it listens to me. But yeah. American food laws are a bit wacky. Even in the best of times. Okay, search for materials. Nope. Sorry about that. Clip Studio Paint just randomly closed on me. Normally I can have them both open at the same time. Give me just a second. We're gonna drop back to the waiting camera real quick. Yeah, sorry about that. Clip Studio just crashed, and I hope it saved my drawing. I really do. I really liked the menu review. Thank you. Yeah, I drew a lot on my experience as a cook. Okay, yeah, it mostly saved. It didn't save the, we can come back to the art now. It didn't save me drawing coloring his hair in. But let's go ahead and save the drawing itself. Oof. I do not see a lot of body hair. I don't know about this one. Let's give it a shot. Alright. Sorry about that. A little bit of technical issues. But we can put your chat back. Okay, there we go. Yeah, really. It's just... I was not expecting that. Did not save my color scheme, that's for sure. Better. Yeah, but I went ahead and saved it again. I have to redraw the scar, but that's not too much of an issue. How did my stylus get wet? I must have set it by the picture. But the picture doesn't have a leak, does it? No? Weird. Oh, it did save something, actually. There we go. I was wondering why the pin looks so weird. Because I changed the pixelation. So let's go back. But yeah, speaking of Nate again, the big issue between Nate and Connie is that humidity, maybe? I don't know, I have the fan on. I'm not sure. Could be my water cup, could be the pitcher, could be the apple. Maybe the wrapper to the snack cheese was wet, I don't know. But the big thing between Nathan and Connie is that Nathan constantly makes little jabs at Connie's supposed sexual orientation. It's kind of like a hidden, like a poorly kept secret that Connie and his friend Eric are more than friends. But, you know, and it's the 70s. So they're not exactly able to be open with that, even in a large city. And I mean, to be honest, the story follows Connie all the way up until he's 50. So, like, it would be 1998, I think, is when the story ends. But Nate has this thing where he thinks that Connie will never hit him back. And then one day Connie absolutely does. And their relationship kind of gets kind of bad from there. Because no matter what, you can always push someone too far. And Nathan never really learns that. Oh, well, he does. He just ends up being very good at exploiting it. Okay, so let's go to my patterns here. Hatching. Well, thank you, Fun. That was very sweet of you. As someone who has done role-playing since I was 11 years old, I know how to build characters. Writing the story is hard, but building the characters I can do. Let's see. Let's do the body hair brush. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. Body hair brush is very interesting. Let's make it smaller. Can I not control the angle? Okay, I can control the angle. Okay. go back to the brush. So I can control the angle. Okay, I'm gonna have to draw this body here on a different layer. Okay. No stabilization. Maybe if I do this? No, that really doesn't change anything. Okay. Yeah, because this is what the brush really does. Like that. Take one more body hair brush, see what that does. This'll do. Gonna make it a little smaller though. Oh, excuse me. But yeah. Yeah, this one works for me, I think. That means I need to erase this. But, Connie and Eric have a very complicated relationship. I will say, Connie loves Eric. Connie is in love with Eric. Eric is more in love with the idea of having, Eric does absolutely care for Connie. Absolutely. At the end of the day, Connie is his best friend. And he cares for him and respects him, but Eric is more in love with the idea of having a quote-unquote normal life. Yeah, that'll do. It's not my favorite, but it'll do. I guess I should put some hair on his thighs, too. That might not look as good, though. He looks a little wolf man here. He doesn't have that much hair on his legs. Yeah, Eric and Connie have a very complicated relationship. However, Connie, when after you know, the main story, he does eventually, find somebody. And he and Eric finally realize that their relationship is really not healthy. Yeah, I think this is good. This is a very good piece for Connie. I'm conflicted. Should I? Oh dear. Let's see. I could try to color this. Actually, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I know I said I was going to do anatomy studies, but I really like this sketch, so I want to color it. Let's see. Where's the skin tone I normally have saved for him? Yeah, okay. Actually, I want to check something real quick. Another slice of apple. You know, despite what people say, cheese and apple do go together really well. But I'm still not down with cheddar apple pie, because to me, cheddar and cinnamon don't go together. I have tried apple pie with a slice of cheese. It does not vibe with me. Okay. Hang on. Oh, wrong layer. There we go. Would brie go better with an apple pie? Sometimes it does. But, Cheddar with apple pie is definitely solely an American thing. Mostly because, I mean, cheddar is an American cheese. Alright. Okay, I see now. Alright, we're trying something. Okay, we're no longer trying something. I tried something and I immediately ran out of patience. I don't really want to use the fill tool for this. Although I suppose I should be doing some... Okay, so... Oh. Okay. I didn't know that, actually. Alright. I was not expecting that. I would prefer not to use the fill tool, so... I guess I could go to my settings and cancel the overflow, but I'm not gonna. Oh, whoops. Make this a bit smaller. I used to believe it meant potato cheese, but it turns out it meant Pope's cheese. Ah! It actually makes a lot of sense. I know I'm being a little sloppy here, so just bear with me. Okay. can't color his eyes because it'll bother me until I do. There we go. And the one thing about Connie is he has very striking green eyes. Otherwise, he is quite unremarkable. At least, that's what he thinks. Nope, that needs to be bigger. Oh, crap! I forgot I was going to do the purple underpainting. So what we do is we duplicate layer, go to this layer, get a purple. Whoops. That was unintentional. Oh well, we'll fix it. Kind of ruins my pencil line, so we're gonna fix it. Yeah, kind of. Okay, so now I can do all of this. Let's see. Yeah, that's the striking thing about Connie is that he has his father's eyes. I mean, his mother's eyes. No. His sister is one with his father's eyes. The reason why they call her Big Sister is because she's always watching you. And they start getting popular right when that book came out, so. I'm phoning it in a little here, but it'll be all right. don't know if you guys can hear that. If you can, let me know, because I need to turn down the output on my... If you can hear someone else talking. If you can hear someone else talking, let me know so I can turn my thing down. Because I can hear it, but I think it's just because I'm in the next room over. I need to make this blender a bit smaller. No, maybe I should... like that. Yeah. That would be better. I like using the painterly blender first. Yeah, so far, I'm not really good at rendering. That's another thing I kind of learned on the fly. Oh, whoops. All right. Alright. We'll smooth this out in a minute. I just want to get my basics down. Oh, there is actually something I forgot. Let's see, let's fill this in here. He's got a mean glare just like his sisters. I mean, they are twins, so... Oh, whoops. so afraid that YouTube is gonna be like, nah, you can't draw this. I mean, he's in his underwear, I guess. It shouldn't be too taboo, one would hope. Because I'm technically just... Alright, let's actually use the blender now. And I usually use a pretty big brush to make everything kind of smooth. Not too smooth, but to just kind of even things out. Alright. Let's do the face. Smaller faces are kind of hard to do, but... The more I draw this guy, the less he stresses me out. My sister, on the other hand, gives me some pause. Alright. I feel like I need to blend his legs a little more. Well, thank you. Although I feel like because he's such a big guy, I'm actually going to make the highlight on his stomach a bit lower. So I'm going to put more here and a bit more of the other brown up here. The other brown here. Gonna change that. I do have a question. Are you seriously able to hear other people talking? Because if you can hear other people talking, I need to turn down my output. Maybe I should have just left it as it is, because now I really don't like it. Let's go back to the noise blender. Just to even that out. Do the same with the boobs, too. Alright. Now let's do this. I usually like to have an underpainting of some kind. Mostly because the colors being super vibrant never jives with me. So, I think we'll find a happy medium at 75. Now I don't want to worry about his pants too much. So, for the sake of YouTube's sensibilities, we're gonna make them black on a different layer. Because this is the 70s, they would be white. Yeah, because back in the day, wearing boxer briefs was not considered the manly thing to do. They were not that popular. Okay, weird. Oh, it's because I'm on the wrong layer. One of the things I always ask myself when I'm writing something or making something is why? So, like, for instance, I would really like my first actual novel to be a little more grounded in reality than some of the other ideas I have. And we're gonna be realistic now. We're not gonna make this very pronounced, just a little bit on each side. Because they're just spandex. But when I ask myself, what character does this? What character does this? And especially if you're writing something horror-based, like I'm attempting to, why would your character go in here? Why would they go toward the danger? Now, as far as Connie, a lot of his whys are because I need to be there for Maria. Or because Mom asked me to. Or because if I don't, Nathan's gonna get himself killed. Listen, we're being realistic. We're all adults here. Let me not use the painterly blender. What happened to my music? don't necessarily like how that turned out, but it'll be alright. Alright. Next order of business. Next order of business is we name these layers, okay? Because now I'm getting confused. But Connie's story technically begins... He's maybe about 39, 40 years old. Maybe a little younger, like maybe 35, 36. And it's right after his mother passes away. He and Nathan have already become estranged. And because his brother is a little bit... what is this? Oh, this is a new layer. This is my shadow layer. And then we'll do shadows 2. And then line art. Wait. Nope, that's the line art layer. This is... What is this? Okay, I don't know what that layer is. That's the test layer. So, color test. I don't know what this one is. So, I'm gonna get rid of it. Okay, shadow time. And we need to put this on multiply. We need to put them both on multiply. And typically with typically with a purple undercolor, I like to do orange shadows. But Maria, who's kind of overwrought by their mother's death and a bit maybe, and kind of not really using her best judgment, begs Connie to go get Nathan. Like, go get him. We should all be together right now. And when she comes to her senses, she realizes it wasn't a good idea. But by the time she comes to her senses, he's already gone. He's already left, to go find his brother and bring him back home. And unfortunately, it does end very tragically. But because of their interesting relationship, Eric follows Connie and helps him out throughout the whole thing. Yeah, we should get a little bit of shadow right here. Well, actually, no, because he's got a big belly. Alright, let's smooth out these shadows first. So, despite everything I know about Connie's life, his or everything I have made about every detail I have made about Connie's life, um, his actual story really only takes place over a couple of nights. Like, there's a lot of flashbacks, yes, to how they got here and everything, but actually, the story itself is just a few nights long. Am I on the room? Okay, that's just really hard for me to see, apparently. I probably should get rid of the body hair so I can see, but I don't know what layer it's on. Oh, right. I gotta do the legs and... Okay, let me get rid of that because that just looks dirty. There we go. That's much better. And then we'll put the blend on it like that. Alright, cool. These shadows are going to be at like 50% ought to work. And then my multiply shadows, I think I'll have them be red. Yeah, but a lot of their story is very much inspired from the John Singleton movie, Four Brothers, which was a movie I was obsessed with in college. I was obsessed with John Singleton movies. Like, I could recite Boys in the Hood. I really could. And so it's John Singleton. I have never actually paid attention to directors, but I paid attention to Mr. Singleton, and I was quite moved, heartbroken almost when he died. Okay, now let's hit this with the blender, because I don't need to put as many. Oh, that's too small. I guess all good taste in movies. Thank you. Yeah, I was really obsessed with those movies growing up. Well, I was kind of already grown at that point, but you know what I mean. You know what I should try? Which is something I haven't done before? I should try drawing Final Fantasy 15 characters. I have been so, like, timid in drawing that, but I really should draw Ignis, with him being my favorite character, and I've been thinking about that game more and more lately, and I'm like, I should really give it a shot. Whoops. Oh, right. Alright. I don't like hitting this with the blur that much, but we're gonna have to. Especially the face. Alright. Now there is one thing that I forgot to add. And that is that Connie is an insomniac. It's because he smokes. Normally, people who smoke, they usually are insomniacs and they don't realize it. Maybe I should have done that darker there. There we go. Let's lighten up on the shadows a little bit. 75 to 50. Yeah, but that's not bad. That's not bad at all. You're looking good, Connie. He sure do look like himself, as an older woman at a funeral would say. You know what? His hair is okay, but I'm actually going to give it a bit of a highlight here. Yeah, his hair is jet black, so always with jet black you add a little bit of blue. Just to make sure that everyone knows it's black. Although I guess it could be gray. Like that. There it is, that's better. Well, happy medium between the two. Yeah, there he goes. It looks good. There's one more thing I do. And where's my undercolor again? I don't know if the orange shadows are standing out as much as I'd like them to. I could also just leave the overlay off, truthfully. Actually, it would make more sense for light to be coming from this way, but... I'll smooth this out later, in a minute. I'm doing way more rendering than I normally do. Okay. Smaller. I feel like that kind of gets rid of it. To make it smaller. And then use the blend. There we go. Okay, let's continue using noise brush. Alright. Nah. Could always do glow. Nah, that's worse. This is fine. Yeah, I do love playing with the, but yeah, no, soft light's fine. So if I throw on soft light and then throw on the overlay, definitely looks like he's getting ready to go to bed. But it's a little too dark. You can't really see him. But yeah, I think Connie is done. This was supposed to be an anatomy thing. I was gonna draw multiple things, but I really liked this sketch, and I felt it needed to be colored. And I don't know. I don't know if I'll keep the change on his hair. He definitely has that 70s, just the hair is long for no apparent reason kind of thing going on. I didn't want his hair looking too similar to Eric's, which is why I never did it. I don't know, but I kind of dig it this way. Maybe they'll both just have long hair. But yeah, I think that's me done for the day, even though I started at 1 today. I didn't want to stream for too long. Next week, we might not be doing drawing simply because I don't want to get burnt out on it. We might be doing some crochet. I am due for some charity work. So we might, I don't know, might be crocheting some stuff, might be crocheting some stuff to sell, because the mun's a little few and far between right now. So, with that being said, I don't. My next video, I haven't really decided on yet. It'll be something soon. It might be an animatic, depending on how much I want to do that. So yeah, with that being said, so, well, thank you for the fun of it. That's very sweet of you. And yeah, with that being said, do no harm, take no shit, stay weird, lovely, and happy eating.